Hello everybody, welcome back to the Barrett channel. Today we are in the north of China in Shanxi province in the city of Taiyuan. We've done some incredible things today. We've got a great video lined up for you, so stick around to the end and we'll take you there.
Welcome back to the Barrett channel. I run this channel with Ollie, who's my son. We do food and travel, we do technology and factories, and we do opinion pieces. We're here at Jinshan Temple here in Shanxi province, and we're going to show you around.
This temple, although no one knows exactly when it was first built, the earliest records of it are in a book written by Jinshan, and he estimates that it was built around 1,500 years ago. Now that is a long old time. That is a long old time, and it's been renovated over the years, and it still looks as beautiful as it does today.
China really do spend a lot of money and effort restoring their history. Here some of this is 2,500, 3,000 years old, and through the time it's actually been restored, and it really took a lot of time and effort to keep as much original but restore it so people can enjoy it, which I think is great.
There are more than 100 structures in this whole complex, such as terraces, such as pavilions, such as buildings and halls, things like that. More than 100. This kind of reminds me a little bit like the Forbidden City in Beijing. Obviously it's not quite to that scale because that is absolutely enormous. It's like its own city itself. We actually made a great video on Forbidden City. It's a very popular one on the channel, so if you haven't seen that one already, I'll drop a link up here so you can check that one out, and down in the description.
Okay, so an interesting fact is that 70% of traditional Chinese architecture is here in Shanxi province, and this is a fine example of that where we're at now.
But I thought some people were saying that there's no artifacts left in China. All of the old stuff was destroyed,
yeah,
man.
well, obviously not, because there's quite a bit here, and some of this dates back thousands of years at this particular area, and it's something that Shanxi want to push because it's not that well known actually. So maybe that's why those people didn't know.
And we've been told that Shanxi actually has a 2,500 year history.
So what I find amazing and what I really like about these kind of places is how this was built, because in the times that this was built, they had no modern hydraulic machinery like they have today. It was all built by hand.
I really don't get how they were able to do that. I mean, it's like the pyramids. They actually don't understand how they built the pyramids in Egypt, let alone...
Yeah, it must have took so long and so much patience. I mean, you look at the intricacies in the roof, and it's just kind of incredible, really. I mean,
we've lost these skills now.
We have, yeah. There's very few people who can do this, and that's why sometimes the restoration work is so difficult, because they just don't have the people who have the skills anymore.
And what did we see that was restored that was like the craziest rock carving ever?
Oh, that was in Chongqing, the golden thousand hands Buddha. That was pretty incredible. And again, it just shows how...
We made a video on that, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Links up here. But it just shows how China do care about their history, and they do spend a massive amount of time and money on restoring these things for future generations to be able to enjoy.
So this whole temple was built for an emperor back in the day named Shuyu. And this temple here is the one that was built for his mother. And apparently it's more beautiful than the one he actually built for himself. So all of these sculptures behind me are the mother's maids. So they've literally built a unique sculpture for every single maid that she had during her son's reign. So that's done at Jinshan Temple. Hopefully you learned something, because we definitely did. We're now heading off to lunch. It is a bit early, only 11 o'clock, but I'm sure we'll be going for lunch.
I'm sure we will.
So we'll take you there and see what we get up to next.
So the next destination we're at is Taiyuan Ancient Town. And basically what they're doing here, it's a 5-star resort, or it will be a 5-star resort. It's not open yet, but this is the site of the original town, and it dates back over 2,500 years. But over time, for war and natural disasters, it's been destroyed. But they've rebuilt it, they've recreated it, and it will become a 5-star resort. There's going to be a hotel here, there's going to be stores, food places, everything. And we're just going to have a bit of a look around because it seems pretty cool. It's all been built in the traditional, original style of what it used to be, and looks pretty cool.
And they have, similar to in Xi'an actually, they have a 11-meter wall that goes around the whole town. So kind of sections it off to the rest of the area, which is cool. So we just spotted this temple in the middle of the ancient town, and you can actually walk right to the top on these stairs that I'm on now. So yeah, we'll see you at the top. So we've just come up this pagoda in the center of this ancient town, and it's pretty impressive, the views up here. I mean, it would be slightly better in 2 weeks' time when it fully opens to the public, and you know, there's things going on, there's people about, and these cranes aren't here in the background. But it's gonna look pretty cool when it's open, and I'd love to come back because they've been building it for 8 years, and it literally opens to the public in 2 weeks' time. So we're kind of the first ones here. That's why you need to be subscribing to the Barrett channel, because we're getting things to you before anyone else. That's right. Good. What's this for? Really? They will climb up there? Wow. That must be tough. We are now on top of the city wall that is 11 meters high that surrounds the entire town. I just said city. More of a town really, and it's similar to the one in Xi'an. They have literally a historic city wall. I actually haven't been on that. I've been to Xi'an twice and I've not been on that, which is kind of strange. You've been on it, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
I haven't been on it, but hopefully I hope they get some bikes up here, some bicycles, so you can literally bike around the whole thing, because that would probably take about half an hour, and that would be a good little ride. But yeah, you can overlook the whole town from here. It's nice.
So we were driving around the top of the wall, just having a look around. We came across this, which is a Christian church, and it was originally built about 300 years ago, and it's actually been restored. And since they've been building this complex for 80 years, and obviously during that time it hasn't been used, but once this complex opens, once the resort opens, it will be a church that will be used again. And it's quite interesting because a lot of people think that there's no religion allowed in China, and this is a brand new development, yet there is a church right here.
What they got?
They've even made a moat around it.
Oh, look. Water. I want to swim.
There's a whole moat going all around the outside. It's crazy.
It's a big
man.
project, this, isn't it?
It's huge, isn't it? Well, the thing is, you see, the government do this here in China because they're not fussed about it making a profit. What they see is that they'll create a huge amount of employment, there'll be loads of businesses in here, and that will fuel the economy. Whereas in the West, like in the UK or the US, they would have to put it out to private enterprise, and private enterprise would only build it if they could make money. And obviously, a construction of this stage, they will probably never make money by renting out the stores, but they see it as a way to build the economy because it will provide jobs, it will provide business opportunities for many, many people in the area. So that's the big difference. So we've arrived at our final destination today, which is Jinshan Lake Park, and this is a huge park. This is phase 1, And it's phase 1 of 3 phases, and when it's complete it will be over 19 square kilometres, the whole of the park. And originally this was a cooling pond for a power station in this area. Then after that it became a reservoir, and finally it's became the lake at this park, and it's just for leisure now. The park has a lot more than just the lake. They have a gardens area, they have children's play areas, they have sports areas. It's a massive park, and as you can see around us, it's in the middle of an area where a lot of people live, so it's a fantastic facility for the people who live around here. You know, they can come here, they can run, they can cycle, they can relax. I guess they can fish. There's probably water sports in the summer. It really is a very well done landscape park. It's very, very nice.
It's mad how these projects are huge, aren't they? This didn't exist before, and now it does.
They're absolutely massive, and I think that's what people in the West don't get, the sort of scale of some of the projects here, simply because there are so many people in China, and China is so big. Nothing's done on a small scale, everything's done on a big scale, and it seems to me that, you know, the government are not afraid to spend money to give the people facilities like this. You know, it really is impressive. So finally, after this, the last stop of the day is dinner, and that's going to be at a special noodle place, so we'll see what's in store for us there. To be honest, I ain't keen on these cold dishes, mate.
No, we're not big cold dish fans, and it seems like up in the north they tend to have a lot of these sort of colder dishes.
Silk? Wow.
What?
Get in there, get in there.
It is.
So that guy's just whipped up these noodles to like as
like a
thin as that.
Yeah, it's like silk.
What do you think of the performance, mate?
It's very interesting. Never seen anything like that before. But I think that last one was pretty cool. And the guy where he's clipping it off his head like this.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
As well.
Hopefully you enjoyed that noodle performance.
Well, I was a bit...
Now, finally, I think it might be time to eat.
Yeah. I was a bit worried that guy was going to slice his ear off.
I know. That's us finished in Taiyuan for the first day. Keep following this episode of videos. We will see you in the next one. For now, take care.
As always, take care.